Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 8. We will present about the Roman Catholic Archdiocese Kuching, Sarawak, and this is our group member.
Christianity is the world's largest religion and most practiced religion in the world. The religion has about 2.4 billion followers. It centers on beliefs regarding the birth, life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. In Malaysia, the primary denominations include Roman Catholicism, Anglican, and Methodist. Next, we move on to scope of study. The general purpose of this study is to study the Christian organization in Malaysia. This study was carried out at the Roman Archdiocese of Kuching, located in Sarawak. An interview was conducted with Reverend Father Galvin Richard Ngumbang as the informant. This study discussed on organizational background, missionary activities, ethics of missionary movements, and its strengths and weaknesses. Next is the problem statement. Good and positive interfaith connection is necessary to establish a prosperous, safe, peaceful, and harmonious country. In Malaysia, there are a number of issues relating to Muslim-Christian relations that have affected the relationship of the two religions. This is because the religious issues in Malaysia is very sensitive among Malaysians. The objectives of this research is to first, to study the organizational background of the Roman Archdiocese of Kuching. Secondly is to study the missionary activities carried out by the organization. And thirdly is to investigate the ethics practiced by the organization. In this study, we use qualitative method which include library and internet resources and also an interview with member of the Roman Archdiocese of Kuching.
The Catholic Archdiocese of Kuching was established with the arrival of the Mill Prize from London on 10 July 1881 at the invitation of the second Raja of Sarawak, Karl. In addition, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese was erected as the Apostolic Prefecture of Sarawak by Pope Pius XI on 5 February 1927 and was promoted to Apostolic Vicariate of Kuching by Pope Pius XII on 14 February 1952. They elevated to the rank of a Metropolitan Archdiocese by Pope Paul VI on 31 May 1976, Seals of Miri and Sim. The seat of the Archbishop is St. Joseph Cathedral, Kuching. Next, the Archdiocesan Pastoral Council was established on 30 July 1991 so as to encourage the lay people from all the parishes in the Archdiocese to be involved in the policy and looking into the pastoral needs of the people of God in the Archdiocese. We move to the vision and mission in this organization. The vision is to be rooted in the communication of the Trinity and to be solidarity with the whole human family and creation. Besides, mission is to witness to Christ through basic ecclesial communities and transform their parishes into a communion of communities. Besides, to proclaim the kingdom of God through dialogue with culture, religious, and the poor.
And now, we move to Informant Profile. His full name, Rev. Father Galvin Richard Ngumbang. The position in the organization is first, Chairman, Archdiocesan Commission for Mission and Human Development of the Kuching Archdiocesan Pastoral Council. Secondly, Acting Vice Rector, St. Joseph's Cathedral Kuching, and he has experience of 4 years as a priest. The academic qualification in Diploma in Science, University Technology Mara, and he further his studies in Bachelor of Theology, Pontifical Urbaniana University of Rome. Next, missionary meaning. What is the meaning of missionaries? Missionary is a member of a religious organization who is sent into a new location to spread their faith or provide service such as education, literacy, social justice, healthcare, and economic development. When sending the disciple to preach the gospel in his name, Jesus Christ employs the phrase in the Latin translation of the Bible. Next, teachings delivered by the missionaries of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese Kuching, Sarawak. The missionaries' earliest projects were not churches, but schools, clinics, and homes for children and the handicapped in order to alleviate suffering. elevate human dignity, and build a better society for all, regardless of ethnicity, creed, or socioeconomic class. Everything is done without expecting anything in return. For example, SMK St. Joseph in Kuching. And next, the required qualification and salary of a missionary candidate for the priesthood is educated in the subject of philosophy and theology at the seminary before being consecrated as a deacon and the priest. Catholic priests do not receive a salary but only a modest allowance of 400 per month. Catholic priest who has taken a voluntary vow of celibacy, meaning that they do not have to marry and have their own family. The priest provide them with all of their basic necessities such as food, lodging, and transportation.
Now, let's move to the target group. Target group are individuals or groups such as families, teams, organizations that generally live in a geographically circumscribed area, thus in cities, individual municipal or rural districts. In the context of the Sarawak Church, they will usually focus their missionary movement on the native people in Sarawak that are non-Muslims, that is, Iban, Bidayu, Chinese, Melanau, and Orang Ulu. They choose these people because most of them had never heard about Christianity. So, by the presence of this movement, it shows that they are invited to hear the good news of the God who reveals and gives Himself in Christ, so that each one of them can live out in its fullness, which means an abundant life. Next is missionary delivery method. According to Fr. Galvin Richard Mumbang, the most effective method of delivery is by witnessing through a Christian's life. This is because only when one's faith is reflected in one's life, others will be open to receiving faith and finding God. After that, they also have a formal religious instruction that will be implemented through sessions such as Sunday schools, rite of Christian initiation of adults, and seminars. However, religious instruction does not only end in classroom or church, but it will also be done through the promotion of life, especially through education and healthcare for all, through the promotion of mutual respect, and last but not least, through harmony in a plural society. In carrying out the missionary movement, there will inevitably be obstacles and challenges to be faced. The main challenge in missionary work is the lack of personnel to lay a solid foundation of faith and not merely baptizing the people. Another challenge is to ensure that those who embrace Christianity out of their own conviction will have a total conversion and experience of God that will change their lives to be more meaningful, not only to them, but also to the whole community. Lastly, the secularization of society today also seen as a challenge in movement work. As people become increasingly individualistic and materialistic, most of them relegate the need for God or religion and therefore distancing themselves from God and their neighbor.
Now, we continue to ethics of Christian missionary. Ethics means moral principles or moral values, customs, manners, and etc. that are held by an individual or a group of people. In addition, ethics is also an act of researching, thinking, and considering what is good and bad. So, ethics is very important and plays an important role to reflect oneself. And Christian missionary also stresses ethics is their mission in order to ensure the peace of the nation where its people practice different religions. So, the ethics of Christian missionary practice are: first, practice the tenets of the nation, which is belief in God by recognizing the divine natural quest. Second, mutual respect and love in the delivery, conservation, and meetings. And last, accept each other's opinion and decision.
And now we will discuss on the strength and weakness of Christian missionary. The first strength of Christian missionary is that they are multilingual. According to the Informant, target groups for missionaries are the non-Muslims, which are the Iban, Bidayo, Chinese, Orang Ulu, and Melanau. Hence, they have the opportunity to learn new local languages. The second strength is missionaries are trained. A priest-to-be is trained in the seminary in the fields of philosophy and theology, and they voluntarily take vow of celibacy. And the weakness of Christian missionary is that they lack of personnel to lay a solid foundation of faith. This is caused by secularization of the society, and people are getting more distance from God and relegate the need of God and religion. In conclusion, in the early days of missionary work, the first thing that the missionary focused on was not to build churches, but schools, clinics, and homes for children and handicapped, and was done out of love irrespective of race, creed, and social status. Christian missionary is carried out with guiding principle and laws of Malaysia. As a Muslim, we must reflect ourselves and observe the reality that is happening among Muslim community to avoid apostasy to happen. Muslim preachers must spread awareness about Christian missionary and enliven the spirit of da'wah in the Muslim community.
That's all from us. Thanks for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.